Let me compare the Indian cricket team with Reliance Industries. You might be wondering what a comparison. I'll tell you why I'm doing this. If the Indian cricket team were to win, it should not rely on one or two key players. If that one or two key player gets out, then there are great chances that the team might lose. But this is where the other players come into play. If they can pull it off, then there's a great chance that the team still can win. Similarly, for Reliance Industries, the key player, which is their oil segment of the business, this time did not perform. You know, everyone knows what happened with the crude oil business. It did not perform. Then which were the other players in the team, in the company, which were the other business segments who helped Reliance still post better numbers? Do you have any idea? If no, check out the full video. Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a new video on Reliance Industries Limited Quarter 4 results. I'm sure that you might be knowing by now that crude oil was one of the key segments of Reliance Industries which did not perform well. But there were two business segments which helped Reliance Industries to get out of this tough situation. I'm sure out of two, one, I'm sure everyone might be aware about that. And which one is that segment? That is nothing but the telecom segment, the main brand, Jio. Jio segment as a whole has posted amazing numbers, and so the second business segment has also amazingly performed, that is the Reliance retail segment. Because of one big downfall in the sector of crude oil being offset by two other segments, which is Jio and retail, the big question is, on a company overall basis, what happened? Okay, how did the company perform? So we are going to talk about this performance based on three parameters. One is sales growth, one is final profit growth, and also I'm going to talk about EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. Okay, so to start off with, we are going to talk only about the sales figures and the profit figures. First, we are going to compare the YOY sales and profitability. Now, what is YOY? YOY is basically year on year. So I'm going to compare 31st March 19 versus 31st March 20. So that's a year on year comparison, but that's not a full year comparison. It's only a quarter comparison. Okay, so Q4 of 2019 versus Q4 of 2020 is what we are going to compare. The sales, which was gross sales, I'm talking about 1,55,151 in Q4 19 has gone down to 151,209, and this has led to a drop in sale of roughly 2.5%. Okay, not a big drop in sales, but then what is the situation for profitability? Profitability, which was 13,858, of course I'm talking about rupees in crores, okay, has dropped to 9,223 rupees. Isn't that a big drop? That's a drop of 33.47%. Why was this big drop? Was it because of the big downfall related to crude oil? Answer is obviously yes, but I'm going to discuss that a little bit in detail. But before we go into that, let's understand about the overall 2019 full year ended versus full year ended 2020, all 4 quarters put together now. So for March 19, the gross sale was 6,25,212 versus 31st March 20, which is 6,59,205, which is actually an increase in the sale by 5.44%. Whereas the profitability is concerned, it has gone down again a little bit from 55,227 crores to 53,606 crores, leading to a downfall of roughly 2.9%. Okay. Now the question is, why did this happen? I want everyone to focus on one small part, which you can see on the screen, that the profit before tax, which I talked about, big drop from 13,858 to 9,223. This big drop is profit before tax, but this is also after an exceptional item. Okay, I'm going to discuss that. First focus. Let's move up one particular. Okay, so here you can see how it is calculated. Here you can see profit before exceptional items and tax. Okay, so if I check at this level, the 31st March 19 quarters profit was 13,858 versus this quarter is only 13,490. So barely there is any drop. This is also profit. This last figure is also profit. Achha, both are profits. Then what is the big difference? That is the big difference. That there is one big item that has created a big difference. And what is that? We are going to talk about it. Okay, so first pay attention one more time. This is also profit. whatever is given below is also profit. Then what is this being deducted? What is this exceptional item? There's a big deduction of 4,267 crore rupees. And this big deduction has led to a big fall in the profitability of Reliance Industries. Now, to understand this big fall, what is this number all about? For that, you need to understand something related to oil companies. Okay. So if you want to understand a little bit more about oil companies, typically oil companies are divided into upstream and downstream oil companies. Okay. Maybe you're listening this for the first time. So please pay attention. This will give you a good value addition. Okay. I'll read quickly what is an upstream oil segment. Upstream oil and gas segment produces hydrocarbons, oil, natural gas liquids by drilling wells into underground reservoirs. Okay, so basically this is like extraction of crude oil from land, from seabed. This is known as upstream business. So you drill crude oil and you sell it to a refinery. That is step number 1 in any business. Okay. As a fact, everyone might be aware that in India, we don't have a lot of oil reserves. Okay, so upstream business in India is not a very big one as compared to the Middle East Asian countries. Okay, still, of course, in India, we have big companies like ONGC, Oil India, which earn a lot of revenue from the upstream business. But as far as Reliance is concerned, are they more into upstream or are they more into downstream? So for that, we need to understand what is downstream oil business. So what is given? Oil and gas flow. First, you can understand in upstream business what happened. They extracted crude oil. Okay, so crude oil is now extracted from the seabed. Crude oil is now extracted from the land. Then it flows into the downstream facilities. Okay, how does it flow into the downstream facilities? Of course, with the help of some very heavy pipelines which are laid, maybe beneath the sea also, beneath the land, whatever is the case. So they flow from very high material pipes, and then this extracted crude oil is transported to facilities such as refineries and petrochemical plants, which transform them into usable products such as fuels and plastics. Okay, so again, understand this. Whenever this crude oil was extracted by upstream companies from huge pipes, it was transported to downstream companies like Reliance Industries. See, major business is from downstream. A small business of Reliance is also from upstream business, but major is from downstream. Now, downstream में major क्या आता है? That is refineries and petrochemical plants. Now, what does the refinery do? Refinery has got the crude oil. Now, for crude oil, it will now go into a refining process. After the crude oil is refined, then you get petrol, you get diesel, you get other gases, some gases also. Like you also get what do we call that? White petrol, if I'm not mistaken, which is used in airlines. Okay, so all these liquids, all these petroleum products are extracted from crude oil, and that is done through a refinery. Okay, whatever is the balance part now, like a byproduct you may say, that is all is petrochemical. Okay, that is also one of the main key streams of Reliance Industries. Now, was there a problem in petrochemical business? Not really. Where was the problem? Problem was in crude oil. Now let's understand what might have been the problem. Okay, be very careful. This is the most important part of Q4. Okay, now what happened was that if I'm Reliance Industries, what do? I import crude oil. Okay, I store it in huge facilities which Reliance Industries has. Okay, and as and how I feel that yes, there is a good demand, I start using my crude oil reserves. I keep on refining them and I keep on selling them. Okay, so what happens? Do you think that Reliance Industries might be purchasing crude oil in bulk or on just-in-time approach? Either say order aaya, then I order crude oil and then refine and give. No. I purchase in bulk. I keep a lot in my reserves, and then slowly and steadily I refine it and I sell it. Now what happened? When they had purchased this crude oil few months ago, few quarters ago, at that time crude oil price was very high. So for Reliance Industries, crude oil is nothing but the raw material. Okay, can I say raw material cost is very high? Yes. And what happened? The crude oil price itself dropped a lot. Okay, so for them, what happened? The inventory, so for inventory is like raw material. Okay, so for Reliance Industries, just to give you a simple example, assume that they had purchased raw material, which is crude oil, at $100 per barrel. This is just a simple example. This is not the real rate. So assume that Reliance Industries had imported crude oil at the rate of 100 rupees, or let's say $100 per barrel. Okay, just as an example. Currently, let's say the price is $20 per barrel. Their cost of inventory itself has drastically gone down from $100 per barrel to $20 per barrel. Is this, do you feel that it's a recoverable loss in a quick span of time? No. It is very hard to get crude oil back to the levels of $100 per barrel again. Okay, it'll take a lot of time maybe. So in such a case, there is an accounting standard which comes into picture. There is an accounting standard 2, which is for accounting for inventories. It says that whatever inventory you are holding, whatever raw material you are holding, in case of Reliance Industries, what is the raw material? You can type it out. As far as Reliance Industries is concerned, what is the raw material? It is crude oil. Whatever crude oil they are holding, assume they had bought it at $100 per barrel. Right now the cost is only $20 per barrel. The accounting standard says that it is valued at cost or net realizable value, cost or market value, cost or net realizable value, whichever is lower. Okay. In our example, what was the cost? Cost was $100 per barrel. And what is the net realizable value? That is only $20 per barrel. Okay. So now what they had to do was they had to book this loss. In our example, what will be the loss? The loss will be 80. Okay. Is this going to happen every year, or is this like an exceptional thing which has happened? Is this like a one-time thing which has happened? Give me your comments below immediately. What do you think that this loss of $80 per barrel in our example, do you think every quarter this is going to happen, every year this is going to happen, or is this like an exceptional item? It is like an exceptional item. And that is where you can see very clearly in their results also. They have very clearly mentioned exceptional item. There's a loss of 4,267 crore rupees. And there into bracket they have written refer note 2. And in this note 2, there is something known as notes to accounts in any report. There they mentioned that what exactly had happened. And that is why I told you the entire story of AS2 being an exceptional item and all that. Okay. Additionally, what happened was that because of COVID-19, everyone knows this. If you have seen my video, you might have seen that I have explained in a few of my previous videos that what is the impact of COVID-19 on various sectors, on various companies. What happened was that crude oil is there, refined petroleum products are also available, but the demand for oil itself has dropped. That led the situation to go from bad to worse. And that is why the main player of Reliance Industries, which was contributing big time to the profitability of the business, that itself has dropped. The big question here is then who has come to the rescue of Reliance Industries? There is one segment which has come to the rescue, and that is nothing but Reliance Jio. Everyone knows it as Reliance Jio. I have made a separate video on the Facebook Jio deal. If you have not seen that, you can click the link here and check that video after you watch this video. Okay. So what happened with Reliance Jio? Let's quickly check 4 or 5 important points for that. Reliance Jio is now a digital lifeline of 388 million Indians. Check out the reach. Our population is 130 crores. Out of that, 38.8 crores is tapped by Reliance Jio. Second thing, what they have written is their average per capita monthly data and voice usage is at 11.3 GB and 771 minutes. So on an average, the Indian consumer is right now using 11.3 GB of data and 771 minutes of voice usage per month per capita. That's a big consumption. And a very important stats here is that the data traffic has gone up 50% post-lockdown. After lockdown, the data consumption has gone up by 50%. Who has benefited? Companies like Jio have benefited. Who have benefited? YouTubers like Rachana Ranade have benefited. Why? The subscriber base is going up like anything. People are watching more and more of my videos, right? So see, this is what has happened because of lockdown. Everyone is at home and you need some kind of entertainment. What I'm doing is also giving you entertainment only, na? Yes, educational entertainment, edutainment. Wow. Edutainment is what we are doing, right? So anyways, coming back to our discussion, Jio has fantastically posted its numbers whereby their revenue, standalone revenues has gone up by 27% and their EBITDA has gone up by 43%. That's big numbers. ARPU, that is average revenue per user, has come to now 130 rupees. That's a good revenue. If you don't know what is ARPU, I have again done a separate video on telecom companies. I talked about the Idea, Vodafone, Airtel long ago, I guess some few months ago I've done that video. If you find time, you can check that video as well, wherein I've mentioned the concept of ARPU. Okay. And of course, everyone knows about the business partnership with Facebook, which has got a huge cash inflow into the company. One more business segment which did very well was Reliance Retail. And Reliance Retail's 2 or 3 important points is that now Reliance Retail operates 11,784 stores in the country, with over 1,500 stores open, new stores opened in the year, with 30% space added. So what are they doing? They're increasing the quantum only. No? This will somewhere translate into more footfalls. More footfalls will maybe translate into more sales in the coming years. And as far as the current data is also concerned, footfalls are at 640 million, which are up by 17% year on year, with 125 million registered or loyal customer base, up by 40%. So overall, Reliance Retail as a business is also doing very well. Now, if you want to check out the numbers as such, let's understand what is the case with the numbers. EBITDA, very important number, earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. One important point, I'm directly taking you to the subtotal. So what I'm doing, oil related business, crude oil related business versus Reliance Retail and Reliance Jio. As far as the oil related business is concerned, their EBITDA has gone down by 15.7%. EBITDA gone down by 15.7%, whereas Reliance Retail is up by 32.9% EBITDA, and Reliance Digital Service, that is Jio, is up by 42.9%. That's a big increase in EBITDA. So all in all, if I offset, so one, there is a downfall in EBITDA, Jio and retail is an uptick in EBITDA. This has led to what? This has led to a net effect of 7.6% increase in EBITDA. Okay. So all in all, I thought that Q4 results were pretty good than what people expected. They have also declared dividend of roughly 6.5 rupees per share. There is also a big buzz about the rights issue which Reliance has declared. But I have already recorded part 1 of the rights video yesterday. If you have not watched that video, you can watch that afterwards. And tomorrow we are going to release the part 2 of rights issue. I'm sure you'll definitely enjoy that video as you watch it tomorrow. Again, we'll watch it live together like we are doing today. We will also premiere the part 2 of rights series tomorrow at 7 p.m. Okay. So I hope you have understood all in all what happened with Q4 results. I hope the entire concept of upstream, downstream, how crude oil business was impacted, how it was offset by Jio and retail, everything, all points, A's to impact, exceptional items impact, everything I hope was understood in a crystal clear way. Well, I hope you're enjoying the content. If you feel that it is worth it, you may share, subscribe it. You may share it with your friends. You may consider subscribing to my channel. And you can also join into my 6 a.m. live streams. I hope you're aware about that. That way you will not become better only in finances, but also as a person, you'll definitely make good efforts to be a better person. You'll try to bring out a better version of you. Okay. So, well, that's it from my side. I hope you have understood the Q4 very nicely. Don't forget to watch tomorrow's video about rights issue part 2. I'll see you at the premiere show tomorrow. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and